Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to teach you how to make a cat magic jar. It's kind of similar to a witch's bottle, where you bury it outside, and it protects the user or the maker. Now this is for a pet or a familiar. Mine is my pet and my familiar, but you could adapt this to fit any sort of animal. It could fit a bird or a dog or whatever it is. But you're going to have to tweak the ingredients a little bit, maybe tweak some of the herbs and the crystals and things like that you're going to be using to fit your personal animal. Now I'm going to be doing a cat jar because I have a cat. I also have dogs, but I have not done one for them yet. And you could also combine like 2 dogs into one jar if you have a multiple of the same kind of animal, or you could make one for each. So here's what it looks like. This is a finished one that I made probably about a year and a half ago. And this has some things in it that I just felt like putting into it that aren't necessarily in this. Make it your own. Change the words if you want to. Change the ingredients. By all means, do what is right for you, because if it doesn't resonate with you, it's not going to work for you. This is just what I did. You're going to need a jar. I prefer using a glass jar because you're going to need to store this for a long time, and plastic bottles, they can get broken. Well, not broken, glass breaks easier, but they just kind of deteriorate, and I don't like them. Any kind of top will do. This is just a plastic screw top. You could use a metal top. You could use a mason jar, any kind of glass jar, and it doesn't have to be huge. It can just be little bitty like this. You could probably even use a baby food jar. The second thing you're going to need is ideally you're going to want a bag of glass gems or marbles. So like those little glass kind of flat stones you put in flowers, you can get a whole bag of them at the Dollar Tree for $1. The best colors, in my opinion, are black or a deep purple, just because of the protective and spiritual aspects of those colors. If you want to use another color, by all means use another color. I actually used in mine river rocks. I just thought they would kind of work better, so this is my bag of river rocks, and that's what's in this bottle. But if you want to use gems, use gems. If you want to use marbles, use marbles. If you want to use broken glass, kind of like in a witch's jar, you could use broken glass. You can use basically anything. You're going to need basil for protection. You could also use sage. You could use a couple other different herbs, but I prefer basil. I use basil in almost everything. Mine's just dried. You can use fresh basil, but I use dried herbs. You're going to need catnip for cat magic. You're going to need 1 oak or birch leaf for added protection, or you could use pine needles. I actually prefer pine needles. That's what I put in my jar. Actually, I put pine needles and oak leaves, but for the sake of this, because it's really cold outside and I didn't want to go outside, I'm going to use a bay leaf. A few loose strands of cat hair or a shed whisker. For this, you want to use loose only. Do not cut hair off of your cat, and do not pull a whisker out of your cat, obviously. Do not cut the whiskers of your cat. It needs to be loose. If you can't get a hold of a loose whisker, get some fur. I know if you have a cat, you have fur somewhere around your house, on your couch, in your carpet, whatever. Or just run your hand down their back. A straw from a household broom. This will link the magic to your home. Or you could use a straw from your besom. I just used one from my cleaning broom because I don't have a besom at this point. And a permanent marker or a Sharpie. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your jar and take the lid off. You can cast a circle before you do this if you would like to. I did it when I was actually making it. But for now, I'm just going to do it this way. So you're going to take your jar, and you're going to fill it with marbles or rocks or gems or whatever it is that you're using, until it's about halfway full. So, oh, that's a little too many. So do that. That's about half full. Now you're going to add all of your herbs. So and your leaves and your catnip. So you're going to add your oak leaf, or for me a bay leaf. You're going to add some catnip. Now you don't have to measure this. Basically just do it to when it feels right. Put some catnip in. Alright, that's good enough. And then your basil. Tight lid. Add some basil. Now, as for the exact number of marbles and leaves and things like that, it really doesn't matter. I tend to just eyeball everything, but if you want to use your numerology and come up with correspondences for that, that would be awesome. Okay, now you put in your cat hair, if you have it, or your whisker, and then you put in your broom straw. And all the while you're doing this and you're creating the bottle, you want to be thinking of your intent. You want to be thinking of protecting your animal. No harm is going to come to it. No one's going to be able to hurt it or even touch it without your permission. That's what you want to be thinking about. So now that you have all of this in, you fill up the jar the rest of the way with your marbles or your rocks or whatever it is. So everything is going to be in the center of the jar. Now, on the outside of the jar, take you a Sharpie and draw the silhouette of the animal that you want to protect. So for me, you probably can't see it, but I've drawn the silhouette of a cat. It does not have to be perfect. It could just be the head, it could be the whole body, it could be a symbol or the word, but I find the actual image works a little bit better. I just do the silhouette. And then on the other side of it, you're going to want to draw an upright pentagram for protection. And now, you're going to call your cat over, or your dog, or whoever, or whichever animal it is, and let them sniff inside the jar. And that's going to contribute their energy to it. And then once you've done that, you're going to screw the lid on and hold the jar with both hands. And envision your energy going into this jar. Just imagine all your intent pouring into this jar that you want to protect your animal. And now you're going to repeat the following spell 3 times. If you don't want to do this exact spell, change the words by all means. Change it based on what ingredients you've put in it. But this is what I said. Dark marbles of glass, whisker, fur, and hers. I charm you for protection, hear my words. Absorb anger and bad vibes, both night and day. All that is trapped will dissolve quickly away. This witch cat jar will grow stronger as time passes by, causing harmony and peace to grow and multiply. Now you say that 3 times, and then it is done. So mote it be. Then you want to put this jar in a corner, on a shelf, in a closet, somewhere up high in the most used room in your house, or the room that your cat is in the most. So if your cat is most of the time they're in the laundry room, you want to put this in the laundry room. If they like to hang out in your bedroom, you want to put it in your bedroom. If they like to hang out in your living room, put it there. I like to put it where they tend to sleep. Because I think that's when they're the most vulnerable. I think that's when people are the most vulnerable. If your cat goes outside, or you have an outside cat, you could actually bury this outside in your yard. Whatever you want to do. So that's how you make a cat magic jar. And actually, with my glass one, I sealed the top with candle wax. And how I did that was I just lit a candle, and I turned the candle sideways and kind of dripped the wax all the way around the perimeter of the lid, just to keep it closed. And it's worked wonders. My cat's never been hurt. She's gotten, the normal types of things, like she's had a sore where she dug herself too much, or she had an upset stomach, or whatever it may be, got diarrhea, but she's never gotten hurt. So that was the intent from it, and I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you use it, and how it goes for you. Blessed be.